Speaking of horror games, Glenn Schofield, one of those, says EA recently turned down the Dead Space 4 proposal coming from Video Game Chronicle, Tom Ivan. So basically what happened was Glenn and a couple of the other OG Dead Space people put together a proposal, and it wasn't like a deep, here's the story, here's what we want to do. It was just, this is what we think we could do with the Dead Space 4 game, and EA unfortunately turned around and said, thanks, not at this time. So really, there wasn't a lot to it, but at least there's somebody out there kind of pushing for the Dead Space series, because Dead Space 3 left on probably one of the hugest cliffhangers since Half-Life 2. And I, for one, would love to see it. I hoped that the Dead Space remake from last year would have given them some, instigate them to continue on with the series. But after hearing that the Dead Space 2 remake has never got off the ground, and now this, I don't know. I feel like that's it. Dead Space 4 is just dead at this point. There's going to be no space for it in gaming. Alex, your thoughts?
Sad. Dead Space originally came out at a time when, and they made 3 of them, so they had to be moderately successful, but
more than 3. All the,
Dead Space
mainline games,
the Wii one. What was it? Dead Space Extraction.
Extraction, yeah.
So obviously the series was, somewhat successful, but over time, excuse me, it went from a horror game to more of an action game. And, when 3, they added co-op. But Mirror's Edge and Dead Space were 2 of those games that EA kind of went out on a limb on and put out original games. And people who played them really seem to like them. It's just, the problem is that I guess the kind of money that EA wants to see returned, return on investment, they weren't really getting from them. So, Dead Space was, I think, a top seller on sales charts for the month it was in, but after that it dropped off. It's, EA Motive did a great job with the remake. And as soon as you heard that they weren't going to do a Dead Space 2, the game's already built. And, I guess you might have to build it from the ground up, but you don't have to conceptualize anything. You don't have to research anything. It's just fucking there. Once that came out that EA wasn't looking to do that, it's just like, okay, well, we're done here. Like, we got a Dead Space remake in 2023. I guess we should be happy with that.